All right, so welcome to the deep dive. We are diving into something that I think a lot of people experience, maybe even right now. It's something we're calling the phantom leader.
Oh, yeah.
And this is, when you have this manager who is physically present,
Mm.
like you see them, maybe in the office, maybe on the Zoom call,
Mhm.
but mentally they're just not there.
Yeah.
They're not engaged. And I think based on a lot of the responses we've gotten from all of you,
Mhm.
this is something a lot of you guys have dealt with before.
Totally. Yeah. It's a pretty common experience and yeah, like you said, it can be really frustrating to work for somebody who's physically there but just mentally checked out.
Right.
They're just not present.
Yeah. So today, what we want to do is dive deep into, what are some of those signs that you might be dealing with a phantom leader? And what are some of the things that might be going on that cause this to happen?
Right. Like what are some of the underlying reasons why a manager might become a phantom leader?
Right. And then also, like, what can you actually do about it? Because, it can be really frustrating.
Absolutely. And it can be really demoralizing for the people who work for a phantom leader,
Yeah.
you know?
Right. You feel like you're kind of on your own.
Yeah, exactly. And it
Yeah.
can be really damaging to your career if you don't have a manager who's advocating for you and supporting you.
Yeah. So, what we're calling a phantom leader, how do you know if you're dealing with this?
So I think one of the biggest signs is just a general lack of communication from your manager.
Okay.
They might be really slow to respond to emails, or they might not respond at all.
Ah, yeah, that's a good one.
Or, if you do get a response, it might be really brief and unhelpful, like, yeah, looks good, or something like that.
Ugh, I hate that. Looks good.
Right. You're like, okay, well, what does that mean?
Right. What do I actually need to change?
Exactly.
Yeah. And also, they might, not really give you any feedback on your work or any direction on projects.
Yeah. And that can be really frustrating because you're just kind of left to figure things out on your own.
Right.
And you don't know if you're doing a good job or not.
And you feel like you don't know what you're supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So, lack of communication is a big one.
Definitely.
What else?
Another sign is that they might delegate tasks to you, but then they completely disappear.
Oh, yeah. This is a good one. The ghost delegation.
Exactly. They basically give you an assignment and then they're just gone.
Poof.
They don't check in with you to see how things are going or offer any support, and then they just reappear when it's time for you to deliver the final product.
Yeah. And it's like, you have questions or you run into roadblocks and you're like, well, who do I go to?
Yeah, you're just completely on your own.
And you're like, weren't you the one who assigned this to me?
Exactly. And then they come back and they're like, well, why isn't this done? And you're like, well, you weren't here to help.
Right.
Yeah.
Ugh, that's frustrating.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah. So, yeah, no communication, ghost delegation. What else?
Another big one is that they might hold a lot of meetings, but the meetings are completely pointless.
Oh, my God, the meetings.
Yeah,
Yes.
dreaded meetings.
They're like these meeting mirages.
Right. They're just there, but they're not really there.
They're not actually accomplishing anything.
Exactly. And it's like you go into the meeting and you're like, okay, what are we doing here? And nobody really knows.
Right. What's the goal here?
Yeah. And the manager might be unprepared or they might be disengaged.
Yeah, or they're on their phone the whole time.
Exactly. And it's just a huge waste of everyone's time.
It's like, can we please just all get back to work?
Yeah, exactly.
I've been in those meetings where I'm just like, I have so many other things I need to do.
Right. And it's not like you don't want to be collaborative.
Right.
But it's just like this meeting is not productive.
It's not serving any purpose at all.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, the worst part is when they cancel the meeting at the last minute.
Oh, yeah.
Or they just don't show up.
Right. Or you get that email like 5 minutes before the meeting starts. That's like, oh, sorry, can we reschedule?
Yeah, or they just delete it from the calendar.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay, great. Thanks for the heads up.
Like, thanks for letting me know that I just blocked off an hour of my time for no reason.
Exactly.
So, yeah, meetings are a big one.
Definitely.
What else? Let's see.
Another sign is that they might give you really vague feedback on your work.
Oh, this is another good one.
Like you'll put a lot of effort into something and then you'll send it to them for feedback. And they'll just say something like, I'm not sure about this, or let's discuss this further.
Ugh, let's discuss further, and then they never do.
Right. And then you're like, okay, well, what specifically are you not sure about? And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't really tell you.
And you're like, when are we going to discuss this further?
Exactly. And then that meeting never happens.
Yeah, it just kind of disappears into the void.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, so what am I supposed to do with this feedback?
Yeah, it's like the feedback void.
It-
It just sucks you in, and you're just
Yeah.
like, what's going on?
And you just feel so lost and unsupported.
Right, and you feel like your work doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're not really engaging with it.
Yeah, it's like they're not even paying attention to it,
Right.
which is really demoralizing.
It is.
So yeah, vague feedback, lack of feedback, feedback void.
Yeah.
What else?
Another sign is that they might not advocate for you for promotions or raises.
Yeah, this is another good one.
Like, you might be doing a really great job and exceeding expectations, but they're just not putting you forward for opportunities.
Right?
And it's not because they don't think you deserve it. It's just because they're not really paying attention.
Right, they're so checked out.
Exactly. They're
Yeah.
just not engaged with your career development at all.
And you're killing it. You're doing so well, but it's like nobody's noticing.
Yeah. It's like you're invisible.
Right. You're just going through the motions and nobody's seeing all the hard work you're putting in.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that can be really frustrating.
It is.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot of the signs. Like, how do you know if you're working with a phantom leader? Now, let's talk about some of the reasons why this might be happening.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, why do people become phantom leaders?
Well, I think there are a few possible reasons.
Okay.
One reason could be that they're just really overwhelmed with their own work.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they might have too much on their plate and they're just struggling to keep up.
Right.
And as a result, they're not able to give their team the attention that they need.
So it's not that they don't want to, it's just that they're so swamped.
Right, exactly. They're just drowning in work.
Okay, yeah.
Another reason could be that they're just not very good at managing people.
Yeah,
You know, some people are just natural leaders and some people are not.
right.
And if someone's not a natural leader, they might not know how to effectively manage a team.
Yeah. And sometimes they're promoted because they were good at something else.
Right, exactly. Like they might have been a really great engineer or something like that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be a good manager.
Right. Different skill set completely.
Totally.
Yeah, and it's like they just weren't given the training or the resources to be a good manager.
Exactly. And then they're just kind of thrown into this role and they're like, what do I do?
Right. And so they just kind of check out because they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Okay, what else?
Another reason could be that they were just unhappy in their job.
Yeah.
You know, they might be feeling unfulfilled or unappreciated.
Yeah.
And as a result, they're just not motivated to put in the effort.
So it's like they've just kind of given up.
Yeah, and it's not fair to their team, but it's just kind of where they're at.
Yeah. And it's hard because, you know, you don't want to make excuses for them, but it's also like you can kind of understand where they're coming from.
Right. It's like you can empathize with them, but at the same time, you're like, this is not okay.
Right.
It's not okay for you to be taking it out on your team.
Yeah. So that's a tough one.
It is.
So we've talked about the signs.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about the reasons. Now, let's talk about what you can do about it.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you're working for a phantom leader, what can you actually do?
Well, the first thing is to just be really proactive in your communication.
Okay.
You know, don't wait for them to come to you. You need to go to them
Right?
and be really clear about what you need from them.
So like if you're not getting feedback,
Yeah.
be like, hey, I need feedback. Can we schedule a meeting to discuss this further?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if they're not responding to emails, then try to schedule a meeting with them in person.
Right.
And just be really persistent.
Be like, hey, I need your attention.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Who else?
Another thing you can do is to document everything.
Oh, yeah. This is a good one.
Keep a record of all your interactions with your manager.
So like all the emails, all the meetings.
everything.
If you need to go to HR or something, you have proof.
Exactly. Because if you just say, well, my manager never gives me feedback, they're going to be like, well, do you have any examples? And if you have a log of all your interactions, then you can be like, well, here's an email I sent them 2 weeks ago and they never responded.
All right. And be like, look, I'm not making this up.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a really good tip.
Yeah.
Okay, what else?
Another thing you can do is to try to find a mentor within the company.
Oh, yeah. This is a good one.
Someone who can give you the support and guidance that you're not getting from your manager.
Right.
And this doesn't have to be someone who's in your department.
Right.
It could be someone who's in a completely different part of the company.
Yeah, just someone who you admire and who you think could give you some good advice.
Exact.
Yeah. I think it's important to have that kind of support system.
Definitely.
Because when you're working for a phantom leader, it can be really isolating.
Yeah, you can feel really alone.
And it's like you start to question yourself. You're like, am I doing something wrong?
Right.
And it's like, no, it's not you, it's them.
Exactly.
But it's hard to remember that when you're not getting any positive reinforcement.
Yeah, you need someone to be like, no, you're doing great.
Right.
And that's what a mentor can do for you.
Yeah, that's a really good tip.
Yeah.
Okay, what else?
Another thing you can do is to just focus on your own development.
Yeah.
Take initiative on projects, take online courses, read books.
Right.
Just do whatever you can to improve your skills and knowledge.
And don't rely on your manager to do it for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they're not going to.
They're not.
So you have to
not
take
really.
ownership of your own career.
Yeah, and that can actually be really empowering.
It can.
Because it's like you're taking control of your own destiny.
Yeah.
You're not letting your manager's disengagement hold you back.
Yeah, so that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I think the last thing is just to make sure you're taking care of yourself.
Oh, yeah. That's so important.
Because working for a phantom leader can be really stressful.
It can.
And it can take a toll on your mental health.
Definitely.
So it's important to make sure you're doing things to de-stress and recharge.
Yeah.
Like exercise or spend time with loved ones or whatever it is that makes you happy.
Yeah, whatever fills your cup.
Exactly.
Because if you're not taking care of yourself, then you're not going to be able to do your best work.
Right, and you're not going to be able to deal with your manager.
Exactly.
So self-care is really important.
It is.
So yeah, I think those are some really good tips.
Yeah. I hope that's helpful.
Yeah, I think it is.
It's a tough situation to be in,
It is.
but it's not hopeless.
But there are things you can do.
Exactly.
So don't give up.
Don't give up.
And remember, you're not alone.
A lot of people are going through this.
Yeah, it's more common than you think.
It is.
Okay, so before we wrap up, I wanted to touch on a couple of related phenomena that we've heard about.
Okay.
One is what we're calling the micromanager in absentia.
Oh, yeah. This is a good one.
It's like the phantom leader, but even worse.
Right. It's like they're not engaged with the big picture, but they're still micromanaging every little detail.
Yeah, it's like, how do you even do that?
Yeah. Right. It's like pick a lane.
Right. Are you going to be the manager or are you going to be the micromanager?
Exactly.
But they somehow manage to do both.
yeah. And it's so frustrating.
It is because you're like, I thought you weren't paying attention.
Right.
But then they're like all up in your business about the tiniest little things.
Yeah. And it's like
But
they're
it's
not
like-
even giving you the freedom to do your job.
Right.
They're just constantly second guessing you and undermining you.
Yeah. So that's a really tough one.
Yes.
And then the other one is what we're calling the silent saboteur.
Oh, yeah. This is even more insidious.
Yeah, this is like the phantom leader who's actually working against you.
Right. It's like they're not just disengaged, they're actively trying to sabotage your success.
Yeah. And they do it in really subtle ways.
Right.
Like they might withhold information from you.
Yeah, or they might badmouth you to other people.
Right. Or they might take credit for your work.
Exactly. And it's all done very quietly behind the scenes.
Yeah. So it's really hard to prove. And it can be really damaging to your career
Definitely.
because you're like, why is this happening to me?
Right.
And you don't even realize that your manager is the one who's sabotaging you.
Yeah,
So that's a really tough one.
it is.
So I think, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
But the main takeaway is that if you're working for a phantom leader or a micromanager in absentia or a silent saboteur, you're not alone.
Definitely not.
This is a really common problem, and there are things you can do about it.
Right.
So don't give up hope,
Don't give up.
and remember to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it for today's deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here and for all your insights.
Of course.
And to all of you listening, thanks for joining us.
yeah, thanks for listening.
And remember to keep sending us your questions and your stories.
Yeah, we love hearing from you.
We really do. It helps us choose the topics for these deep dives.
Definitely.
All right, so until next time, keep diving deep.
Keep diving.
And remember, you are not alone.
You are not alone.
All right, take care.
Bye.